Welcome, and thank you for joining us for Ask Us Anything of Be Your Own Best Coach. Hi, I'm Glenn Lubert, one of the instructors and co-founders of Be Your Own Best Coach, and I'm here with my colleague, Deborah Teplow. Hi, Deborah.
Hi, and I'm so happy to be here with everybody. And we're really looking forward to sharing all about our course, Be Your Own Best Coach.
Thank you. And Deborah, we're going to be going through some questions that we had previously submitted by people. And if anybody joining us has any questions, just enter it in the chat or unmute yourself, and we'll go ahead and have you answer the questions, ask the question. So we'll start off with the one question that we had submitted, which is, what do I need to do to prepare? How do I prepare for Be Your Own Best Coach?
Oh, it's a great question, and you don't have to do anything. In fact, I actually should temper that because what we do ask you to do is come with a really open mind, curiosity, and eagerness to learn, and an open heart for yourself, because what we know is people who do their best are also gentle to themselves and kind to themselves, and learning is paramount. So if you put all of that together, that's the preparation.
Fantastic.
And, Glenn, another question that other people have asked here and there is, what technical requirements are required?
Great question. We use multiple software platforms all online. So you use a regular web browser to access the platforms, and the main platform we use to deliver the course is Zoom, which we're using right now. So if you're using this and you're on Ask Me Anything, then you know how to use Zoom. Many of us have been using Zoom now for the last several months. So Zoom is our main way we're going to be delivering the course. We have our weekly sessions and our skills practice sessions, both done via Zoom. Then we have our open office hours, which are every Friday, and we use a tool called Slack. It's a text message based system where you message and text each other, and so that's going to be used for the office hours. And the other platform we use is called Teachable, and that's where we deliver our course materials. And so from there, you'll get the videos of the course, additional reading, additional videos that we have, and that walks you through every week through that place. And when you register for the course, you're actually registering on the Teachable platform. So 3 different pieces that we're going to be using: Zoom, Slack, and Teachable.
And I wanted to add something about Teachable or about Slack, because I hadn't really used it before we did our office hours, a little bit, but not that much. And we had a lot of fun. People were learning together with us. And so I think everybody had a really good time asking questions that really made a difference to them, getting their questions answered, having a lot of interactive discussion, and then having fun just playing with the new system and with the little emojis and this and that. So we had a great time, and I know that the new cohort will also have us equally a good time.
Yeah, and that's one great other point, is that you can ask questions at any time on there, not just during our office hours. The community is on there. The last cohort is on there, and they've already gone through the program, so they'll be able to chat with you, as well as everybody who's joining us on the new cohort. Well, that actually brings up with the different cohorts that we're having. What types of people are in these cohorts that participate and Be Your Own Best Coach, Deborah?
That's a great question, because this course is really for everybody. One thing that I can say is that the science of behavior change and the kind of mindset you have to really live fully, meaningfully, they're universal, and they apply no matter what age, no matter what occupation, no matter what stage you are in life. There's some things that are just universal that apply to everybody. So the types of people that will be participating are varied, and I think that was one thing that our previous group loved and made a big point of, that it was really fun during our live sessions is not only did they get great material presented to them, but we also had opportunities for doing what we called speed chat in the chat box and also breakout rooms. And so people worked with each other on small little assignments within the live sessions. And that's where they said, wow, I never got to work with this kind of person or that kind of person or a person with this background. And it was really interesting and it was meaningful and also expanded their perspectives, which is what being your own best coach is about in part. It's really expanding your perspectives and creating more options for yourself so that you can really live fully.
Oh, wow, that's great. Well said. Um,
Glenn, I have a question because a couple of questions
okay.
that people have asked is like, how much time do I need to spend on the course? That's one. And do I get a certificate after I spend that time?
Yes, well, yes, you definitely get a certificate. And what I would say about the amount of time you're going to spend on the course is plan for a few hours a week. We're going to have an weekly Zoom call that's our main way to present our material. And those are about an hour, 15 minutes long. And then we're going to have our skill sessions. We'll have 2 skill sessions that are an hour and a half each. And then, we're going to have journaling activities too every day. So the journaling activities aren't, going to take up too much time, but you want to leave yourself a little bit of time every day for those. And that all adds up to a few hours a week. But remember, we are here to help you. And so you spend as much time as you want on this course, because we're going to have additional material you can review, different resources, and you can spend as much time as digging into these as you want to, as much time as you want to put into this course was what you're going to get out of it. And like I said, we're here to help you. We're going to be available and use us as a resource while we're going through this journey together.
Another thing I wanted to mention is, life happens. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted to mention that, life happens for everyone. And so, occasionally there'll be a student who gets caught up in life for a couple weeks and then may not be able to do as much as they want in the course. So after the course, you will still have access to all the materials and you can work through it. What we also stress is you're developing your skills. It's not about the learning, it's about the doing. And so just count on, doing as much as you can and what fits for you during the 5 weeks that you're in the course, and then expect that there'll be stuff that you want to keep working on or referring to. It's a lot of rich material and it will benefit you.
Yeah, and all the sessions we do are recorded, so if you miss someone, you can watch it later. We had lots of students do that last time, and you can also go back and listen to them again. So you learned it, you practice it, and you're out in the real world and you want to refresher, you can come back to the videos at any time. So let's chat about who actually uses this course, what they have said.
Okay, so I love to share that. Well, Glenn, do you want to go ahead and do this first one and then I can add in?
Yeah, sure. So Gita was one of our last cohort, and she had just a profound impact on her. She's a homemaker, and she went through our advanced course. So she will go through the different options in our advanced course. She really just had a great breakthrough during her time on the course. Then we got Derek. He's a director of communications. And again, he really enjoyed this course. Has introduced a lot of different concepts to him, particularly the self-talk stood out for him. And then finally, we have Dahlia. She's assistant director for residence education at a university. And she had one word, mind-blowing, and that says a lot.
And what's cool is that I know Dahlia has 1,000 students that she's responsible for at a university. And the things that she's learned in the course, I have occasional reports that she's really applying it in her work and of course in her own personal life. So it's being your own best coach so that you can do well for yourself. And then it just expands to doing well for others too.
I mean, well, there's the ripple impact of this course, because when you're modeling how to be your own best coach, it has an impact on others and how they are seeing how they can actually show up in the world. So let's do the rundown of that. Let's talk about the course. To shift your mindset. That's our goal. Change your behavior and thrive in the new normal, so you can be happier, healthier, and do more stuff you care about. Do you want to talk a little bit about the overview of this, Deborah?
Yeah. So, here are some of our goals, and one is avoid the common mistakes that prevent people from achieving their goals and their dreams. And we know that nobody is trained in how to make change, how to make it strategically and efficiently. There are lots of myths and misunderstandings, misperceptions that we all have absorbed and learned and use, which keeps us from our achieving what we want. So we'll go through those with you so that you avoid the pitfalls and know how to skirt around them and over them. I think that's one thing that's really important is to understand that so you can avoid it. And then when we ask, we've asked hundreds of people, what do you believe is the most important thing for making change? And invariably people say something like willpower, motivation, determination, perseverance. It's that fight no matter what. And we know that motivation is important, but it's not the only thing. And so we help you understand its proper place in the whole change process. And then we give you a science-based 6-point framework that accounts for all of the factors that contribute to your well-being, contribute to your ability to make effective change in your life. And we will look a tiny bit at the neuroscience because more and more research is coming out that helps us understand how the brain works, how it relates to behavior, and what you can do to really harness the power of your brain's natural processing and power. And there's a lot more. So we'll go into that.
Yeah, have your brain biology work for you, not against you. And we did have a question that came in that I wanted to have you field. Is what if I have questions about stuff that's not in the course, but I want your help?
Oh, it's a great question. We are really available to help you to the extent that we can. If it's something, if it's an issue that requires somebody outside the expertise outside our scope of expertise, of course, we'll say, we want to help and check in with somebody else. Our expertise is in behavior design and in the language of caring conversations that promote change. So we're talking about behavior change, we're talking about flow, we're talking about all the aspects that contribute to wellness. And also Glenn's really good with technology. So we'll make sure that you can access everything you need to. We're here for you, and there are lots of ways to connect with us. Besides for just Slack, you'll have our emails. So we want to help you so you can be your own best coach.
Yes, and so we have 12 more days left to register for the course. And for everyone who's attended and registered, we're going to offer a 10% discount that'll come in the follow-up email after this session, after you watch the session. So the course begins on June 16th. So we have until 5 p.m. on June 16th to register for the course. And then we start that Tuesday, June 16th at 7 p.m. with our first live session for our kickoff for the 5 weeks, followed by the office hours every Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern time. That's again on the text-based Slack chat. And then we have 2 skill sessions, practice sessions from 1 to 2:30 on July 28th and July 12th. When you sign up for the course, we have a little file in there that you can click on, and it adds all these to your calendar, so you don't even have to enter them all in or think about it. They'll automatically get posted into your favorite calendar application. So let's walk through the course a bit and talk about the 5 weeks of curriculum.
Okay, so in the first week, we're going to talk about the science of behavior change and really get into to the nitty gritty and answer a couple of really key questions is like, why now? And why this do it yourself, be your own best coach. We're also going to talk about the 10 ways that people fail to make change in their life. And I already mentioned that. We'll talk about motivation and the 2 roles you really have to play to be your own best coach. Then we're going to talk about how goals and outcomes differ. We often are very focused on goals. What's your goal? Set your goal, your SMART goal. And we know that goals are important as are outcomes, and they're very different. So we'll get into that. And then we'll talk about the 6 critical factors that contribute to your well-being and how to make those work. Then the 2 next weeks that are managing your inner space and your outer space. So your inner space is your mindset, and there are many factors about mindset that go into setting the stage for positive change and for really healthy, full living. We'll get into those. And then your outer space are people, places, things that influence you and affect you. And in fact, no matter how much you control your inner space, you have everything set up, we know that your likelihood of success in making change in your life and living the way you want is greatly magnified when you also set in stage people, places, and things around you. So we'll help you make sure you can do that well.
So powerful. All right, then we move on to the last 2 weeks.
And so the last 2 weeks, that 4th week is how to make good change stick. We're going to talk about reward and punishment because there are certainly ways to use them effectively. And it's important to know because that's another thing that trips a lot of people up is not understanding the right way to use reward and punishment. And then we're going to talk about what happens when you, and I put this in quotes, relapse, because nobody's perfect and nothing stays the same. So there are times when you may have goofs and slip ups and,
Definitely happens.
road. So we're definitely going to talk to you about how you can do that. And then finally, week 5 is takes action as your own best coach. And we're going to talk about how to assess where you're at in the process. And at each stage of the change process, you need to really understand what the characteristics of that stage are, what the goals are, and what the tasks are you need to achieve those goals. So we're going to help you match where you're at in your own change process with the strategies you can do to make change effective, sustainable, and help you move on to the next stages.
All right. Yes. So then we move into the that's the base curriculum that we go through. Then we have an advanced course, which is in part includes everything from the basic course and these additional pieces, which start with 2 private 1-hour coaching sessions.
So these are really important because we give you all the information and skills and tools and techniques to make your own change. And as we often say, this stuff is simple. It's not rocket science. It's not advanced calculus. At the same time, simple, but not necessarily easy. We say we make change easy, but we all have been trained to do things kind of not very well. I mean, if you ask, people, I mean, yourself, when's the last time you were successful with change, or how easy is it to change, stop smoking, lose weight, get some more exercise or whatever, go to sleep on time, stop using Facebook. It's hard. And so what we do in the course is give you everything you need, but the coaching sessions help you apply it in ways that are very strategic and very effective and efficient so that you can apply what you've learned in ways that really make the difference to you in a way that's most powerful. So you'll start out with one session and we'll look at how you can apply it. You'll go out, do the work, and come back for like a booster session and a final tie the bow on the package. So you really go out with everything you need to live exactly like you want. Then the Change for Good, these are interactive journals. This is an interactive journal modeled after a journal in the National Registry of evidence-based programs and practices. And it is a framework and walks you through step by step with reminders, with examples, and with a really effective process to help you on that change process.
And that really stands out for me, that to highlight that everything we're doing is science-based. We have the research that supports all of the activities and work that we're going to be doing throughout this basic course and through the advanced curriculum.
And you will get a bibliography so that you can look up some of these sources yourself.
Right. If you want to go down any of the different rabbit holes, you're more than welcome to do it. And like I said, that's a great use of time, especially while we're available during the 5 weeks, to be able to answer any of your questions and any of these subjects that are really interesting to you. And we then also, in the advanced curriculum, have 2 workshops. First is How to Create Habits workshop. We're going to be using the Tiny Habits Behavior Change methodology, which comes from BJ Fogg out of Stanford University. And we'll walk you through how to not only identify which habits to create in your life, but a formula to consistently create and successfully add new habits to your life, and also break those pesky, unwanted habits, those bad habits. And one of the other areas that we're really excited about this workshop is for this group is we're adding in a key insight on how to use habit tracking apps. It's often get asked that question, is what apps to use, or how can I track my habits? And everyone who joins us will get a free copy of the Habit Minder app to use during the course and afterwards. It's your copy of the app, and we'll walk through the best practices on how to use those. Yeah, and then finally, we're going to end with the Designing for Flow workshop. And this really is takes everything you're going to be learning and being able to show up at your best and be able to perform at your best, and be in that ultimate state of consciousness known as flow. And all the pieces of the puzzle that you're going to be building from the basic course, where we're going to be paying attention to our mindset and our behaviors and people and places and things, and all those things have set up the conditions for us to be able to get into this flow state. And when we can harness this flow state, this is when you're going to be able to really take yourself to the next level and have 500% increases in productivity and engagement. And we'll walk through the different triggers that help you access flow. And we'll then talk about how to build behaviors. We're going to use the Tiny Habits method on how to use the behaviors to create those behaviors in order to get into flow. For example, risk, novelty, complexity, and uncertainty are 4 flow triggers that we have abundance in our world right now. And so we have this natural state of existence in our world that's going to help us get into more flow. So we're really excited. This is the first time we're presenting this workshop, and we're really excited to be adding this to the curriculum.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's all we have. Is there anything you want to add, Deborah, or is there any other questions that we could answer for you? If you just put them in the chat.
I think that one thing is that people loved this course and it made a difference in their lives. So, some of the things they said just overall that was intriguing, enjoyable, it was excellent, it was non-judgmental, it was profound. And one person said, do it as soon as possible to learn to be more effective in your life. And another person said, be your own best coach, describes the program in the very title. Another person said, the ideas and strategies were things I never thought about before. They were very empowering. And fully 97% found the course extremely helpful. And 100% gave the live classes top rating. And they gave us pretty good ratings too, Glenn. Very, very, rewarding, because we're doing it to help you and to be of service. So it's great, when we get the feedback that we did what we really wanted to do and that was meaningful to us.
All right, well, that's great. Well, that's a great note to end it on. Once again, we're going to be offering a 10% discount for everyone who has attended and registered for this Ask Us Anything session. And you'll get an email with that. And also, anyone else who's listening to this, remember to visit BeYourOwnBestCoach.com to learn more about how to shift mindset, change behavior, and thrive in the new normal. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everybody.